Hello everyone, I'm Justin and joining me is Chris today,
Hello!
and we are going to be playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, Treasures of Knowledge, an old edutainment game that's actually pretty close and dear to my heart. Big part of my childhood. Chris, what about you?
Personally, I have not played a single Carmen Sandiego game, ever. So this is going to be really interesting and kind of cool for me.
Alright, so this game actually combines the more obvious Carmen Sandiego, the flat-out trivia, with point-and-click adventure game. So we'll see how this goes. It's been a while since I've played this, so we'll see how it holds up.
A learning company.
Not Jumpstart.
Oh.
Yeah, that was mean.
Image filter. The music for our logo is quite nice.
Agent Second Class Shadow Hawkins reporting, Chief. I'm in. No sign of intruder. Search plan Delta Delta 2. Jules, how did you...
I took the elevator.
Stay sharp, you two.
She's planning something big this time. I can feel it.
Carmen Sandiego? Big deal. I'll catch that Acme trader and be home in time for dinner.
Don't underestimate her, Hawkins.
I'll say, she was the best partner I ever worked with.
Huh?
What was that?
10 o'clock. Red hat. Look out!
Why, Jules Argent. How nice to see you again.
Carmen, it's not too late to turn yourself in. You were the best agent we ever had.
Jules, I never thought I'd see my old partner resort to flattery.
You two were partners?
I know you, and you're no simple criminal. Why are you doing this?
Oh, you're right there, Jules. There's nothing simple about me at all.
Gotcha!
Catch me if you can, Acme agents.
That's two windows.
Yes, get the running count.
Yup.
Okay, Agent.
Alright.
Be sure to type in your name or select it from the list.
Agent name?
Then click on the start button to get going.
Let's say the Doctor.
Nah, too cliche. How about... Nah. No. Let's see.
Acme.
Acme works.
Sure. All right. Agent Acme of Acme.
It seems like the kind of person they'd hire.
She's getting away! Oh, she's getting away! Oh, she's getting away! Oh, Chief, I know name.
She got away.
She got
And
away.
now let's see.
Multiple
What
times.
was the name of that manuscript she stole?
Something about Marco Polo's travels. What would she want with a book?
Not just any book, Agent. Legend has it that that book contains secrets to great power.
Aha! She's after power. I knew it!
If I know Carmen, there's more to it than that. Hey, what's that?
Looks like she left a clue. Rio de Janeiro. What do you think?
Big place. It's not much of a lead, but it's all we have.
Book your flights, Detective. The world is counting on you. You've got to get that book back. There's no time to lose. We must stop Carmen Sandiego.
All right, let's
No,
do
no,
it.
don't.
I always carry the latest technology in my Acme Field Op Tech Vest. It has all the tools we need to get around the world in high-tech style.
I'll keep track of the missions we're on in the journal here in my bag. I like to travel light, but I will carry the Chief Comm here on my shoulder. We can use it to get help from the Chief whenever we're stuck.
Check. Okay, let's go.
And we're off.
And
Rio de Janeiro. It's been so long since I was last here.
So this is Brazil. You know, I aced the final test on Brazil in the academy. Did you know most Brazilians speak Portuguese?
Actually, more people speak Portuguese here than in the country of Portugal itself.
By the way, did I
No
mention
kidding.
this is a kids game?
Well,
See,
okay,
demographics
let's
is
get
weird.
started.
Well, Brazil.
Initiating
is
mission
huge.
procedure
Exactly.
Delta 4.
Portugal is tiny.
Step 1.
Yeah.
Commence investigation by finding clues.
Just a minute. I know the owner of that bookstore over there. Carmen stole a book on the Travels of Marco Polo, so maybe we should talk to him.
Okay, so just to recap, Carmen stole a thing. She left a clue to Brazil. We need to find her, and the game is hinting that we should go to the bookstore as our first place. That's the first place we should go to. What do other adventure games do in terms of the opening scene?
Most adventure games in terms of the opening scene will leave you with
Where were we?
limited set of
We were
options.
looking for some clues.
Do we need to call the
There's a
chief
couple
for help?
A lot of times you'll just have you either have a very safe place to start, or you'll just be, say, tied up in a chair and you have to figure out a way to get out of it.
So just briefly, so here are just how the options in the game. That's the quit button, that's the travel button, that's a list of gadgets. This is where we keep clues.
Digital clue storage device. Stores clues and items found within a mission.
Thank you. And this is the equivalent of an iPad. This is the database.
Oh, cool.
Yes, so this is how you research stuff in-game, because they want you to do that. Oh, also, Jules here has a journal and the panic button, essentially.
The panic button. If you don't know what to do next,
you call the chief.
All right.
So
I actually like the way they introduced those those mechanics in a very kid-friendly but reasonable way.
So let's start with that bookstore.
Yes, this is the bookstore. Let's check out these books too. We may learn something interesting.
So these books are actually not important to the game. They're just, but they
Brazil's
actually do have
history
stuff
is
in them.
fascinating.
Okay.
There are some pretty cool historic places to visit, don't you think, Jules?
Clues and make you hints, but here
there are a variety of landscapes in Brazil. I've always been fascinated by the Amazon rainforest. Maybe someday I'll get to see it.
Because when I was a kid, I didn't see, oh, that's a gameplay mechanism. I saw, oh, that's a thing I need to do to win the game. You don't see things like that when you're young, but
Brazil sure has some pretty spectacular wildlife.
You don't feel like it's. This is what I'm guessing, anyways. Villains.
That's right. Carmen's a pretty infamous character all over the world.
No kidding. But I like her hat better than that other guy's.
Yep.
No, I think that's actually a good way to go about designing an educational game where you don't force. You incentivize learning.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk to the bookstore. Another cutscene here.
Good day. It's been a long time since I last saw you. The lady in red is not with you?
We, don't work together anymore. Long story. Not to change the subject, but we're looking for a rare book. The Travels of Marco Polo, Franco-Italian edition.
Ah, Marco Polo, the famous Venetian traveler. The tales of his travels to the Orient had a great influence on European thought. Early editions are quite rare. I have never seen one myself.
Well, have you seen anyone out of the ordinary lately?
Come to think of it, a suspicious character was here. He spoke Portuguese fluently, but I could tell he wasn't from Brazil. He exchanged a book on Portuguese forts for one on Shinto shrines.
I knew it! Portuguese forts, huh? We've got to scan that book he left with you. Give me the clue analyzer, Jules.
Clue analyzer? You mean one of those electronic toys you're so fond of, Hawkins? Why would I have it?
Oh, that's right. They were fixing it for me. The chief told me Henderson would be testing it. I think he's somewhere outside Havana in a sugarcane field. My database can help us figure out how to get there.
Havana? Okay, I'll note that in the journal here in my bag.
Good idea. We can just type in what we need to find in the search area of the database.
That's really heavy-handed now that I look back on it. But, so, a lot of adventure games there, go to a place, get the thing, to go to another place and do the thing. Here, it's go to the place we're going to give you a geography clue for. So, as you can see, we're in Brazil and we can travel to all these countries. Now, some of the countries, like in traditional Carmen fashion, are dead end. Like these two are just complete dead ends. So obviously Havana, we go to Cuba.
I may need to brush up on my Spanish.
Sounds like a good idea. Maybe I can help. Or you could use that handy-dandy translator you carry.
To Cuba.
Are you sure you know where we are? All I can see are acres of sugarcane.
According to the database, sugar is Cuba's chief export.
Some of the education is a little more ham-handed than others.
How did they get into... Never mind.
Brazil.
Yeah, I know.
Sergeant Hawkins,
Also, if you'll
I
notice,
got the call
there
from
aren't
headquarters.
multiple options.
Here's the
They're just
device.
click on a thing.
That's
Grab it and go. We may be being
Does that
watched.
You know, we'll find out.
I'm headed for the ocean. Cuban seashores are incredible.
Do we just get the thing?
Okay, hasta luego. See you later. And watch out for Carmen Sandiego.
Thanks.
Ah, there it is. The Watson 22 1B Clue Analyzer. It's the best analyzer Acme ever produced.
Okay, Sherlock. Now you've got your
Oh, that's
Watson.
cute.
Can we
Yeah.
continue with this mission? We've got to find Carmen and get that valuable book back.
Alright, so we're actually done with Cuba.
That's it?
Yeah. Some parts are longer than others. So
Okay.
we go back to
Wow.
Brazil. So now we have
I
a
had
thing
no idea Brazil
to
was so
analyze the
big.
book.
Fifth biggest country in
Okay.
area in the world, with 175 million people.
Rio de Janeiro.
I think you need to work a little on your rhythm, Hawkins. But how about later? Much later. Let's focus on finding clues right now.
Alright.
Psst, quick. I've got the book the guy gave me. Go ahead, take it. Me? I'm closing up.
He seems scared. I wonder why. Anyway, I'm all set to scan it. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Alright, let's use the tricorder.
Huh.
Look, a bookmark with some sort of strange design. And the fingerprints on it belong to a vial agent. That device actually found something. Amazing.
Of course! That scrap of paper must be a clue. I'll just enter it in my state-of-the-art Acme Digital Clue Storage Device. That's my DCSD for short.
Maybe Carmen gave the Marco Polo book to one of her vial agents to hide. We've got to check everywhere for clues.
Sorry about that.
If we get really stuck, we can always call the chief for help.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're on our own. Now we have a thing. So the
Okay, so that
bookstore-
was the basically, this is how you interact with things.
Yeah, and also the bookstore is now closed. So now we have all of this one part, the suspiciously not crowded part of Rio de Janeiro to click on. So what's interesting is that if you click on a thing that's not directly part of the mission, like
I've read that you can get a fabulous view of the city from the huge statue of Christ the Redeemer on Mount Corcovado.
Okay.
it just
So you can...
it tells you educational fact, which is an interesting way because
That's a great way of integrating just... Because things will look interesting to... Things just in general that look interesting, people want to know more about it, and this will
Hopefully.
give them
yeah.
facts. Actually, can I compare it to another game?
Time to
It's-
explore this location.
So, if you look at games like, say,
This looks like a great place to eat.
Yeah, it just gives you a
sorry.
little-
No, if you compare that to other kids games like, say, Putt Putt or Freddy the Fish,
Oh yeah.
where when you click on something,
Oh right, it just does some like
it-
weird,
it will do
insane,
right,
come to life.
right.
madness.
It'll do weird things like suddenly there will be a volcano, or balloons will fly out of a moon crater, or something crazy, and there's no other purpose except to be crazy. This is actually kind of a good use of that. It reminds me a lot of what was
Let's stay on task
Oh.
here. There are clues to be
I
found.
wish I could remember it.
Anyway, here's an example where it doesn't work so well.
There was something very suspicious over at that house. You know, the one that's painted in the colors of the Brazilian flag.
All right, We can use the database to help us figure out where to go.
He doesn't tell you what house it is. He's just, oh no, the house. It's this one. But
It's that one? Okay.
yeah. And then we have a little note wedged in the door.
She's here, watching us.
Carmen Sandiego? Well, if she's around, she better watch out.
Yeah. So the thing about Carmen got a lot more character in this incarnation of her. She's very much. Well, she was Jules' former partner. She was an acting agent, which is a huge difference from the TV show.
Right, whereas the TV show...
Attention, Acme agents. One of our informants in Rio thinks she spotted Carmen Sandiego at that balcony earlier today. You need to check it out. That edition of Marco Polo's Travels is very valuable. We must get it back.
I thought you said it held secret of power.
Well, that's just the legend. Because the thing is, Marco Polo's Travels, it's a real book.
Right.
It's a boring book. Like, seriously, it's awful. Like, he has no understanding of what he's seeing. Like, he doesn't call Muslims Muslims. He calls them Mohammedans, but using this really weird, archaic spelling of Muhammad that just...
Okay.
Look at all those travel brochures. Could this be a clue as to where Carmen Sandiego may have stashed that Marco Polo book?
Japan? The United Kingdom?
Yeah,
Who
this
knows?
is actually...
She's tricky. We've got
really
to figure out
relevant.
what she's up to and where she's headed next.
Do these give any relevant information at all?
Not really. This one panel, no. There's some really... It almost seems like part of the game was meant to be bigger, but it kind of got cut. Or deleted scenes didn't make it in, but...
That could be.
Here's where we go next. Get used to that music, by the way. So you sometimes, in this case, you just have to know to click everywhere.
So there is a little bit of click everywhere, find a thing.
Right, which actually does go into the learning stuff.
Right.
Assuming you don't just skip it with a space bar.
You want to, but I mean, but then you get the random things like click this plant. Well, why do I want to learn about this plant?
Right. That's kind of like, I guess that's the only indirect clue.
Well, we're not going to find Carmen just standing around.
The crane.
All right, now we're on to something. We've definitely intercepted one of Carmen Sandiego's messages.
Shinto Shrine. Your database should point us in the right direction.
And then you use the database to figure out.
Of course, we also were told about Shinto shrines from the bookstore. And so you have that clue, and then you have the fact that it's a crane, and it's pretty obvious that it's Japan. So actually, there's other things we can click here, but let's just go back to Japan, because we could be here a long time. Like everything, but...
Got it.
So,
did you know that Japan has 126 million people in a space roughly the size of California?
Did you know that 99% of people surveyed already knew that interesting fact?
I was not aware of how much sass there was when I was a kid. This flew right over my head.
Why would Carmen steal a rare Marco Polo book?
That is another nice thing about this game that I didn't realize.
Danger? What is she trying to tell us?
What do you mean? It's rare, probably worth a lot. She's a thief, so she stole it. Plain and simple.
Look, Hawkins, Carmen Sandiego is no common thief. She's got to have a reason for stealing that book, and it's up to us to figure it out. We need to search everywhere for clues.
Oh, but I don't have my HX3 Pocket Japanese translator with me.
I thought that you were always prepared, Hawkins. Hopefully we won't need it, since English is taught in many Japanese schools.
Also, the Japanese made a more advanced version, so don't worry. So yeah, we have, Mount Fuji.
Fujiyama, Mount Fuji. This volcano is a symbol of Japan. Carmen and I actually hiked to its summit one year, back when we were partners at Acme. Over 12,380 feet.
Interesting. And that also kind of fleshes out their relationship.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I like how
Carmen got a lot of characterization in this game. Alright, so we click on her.
Excuse me, we're looking for someone who we think may be waiting around here. Have you seen anyone that seems out of place?
Ah, yes, a lady. She had something for 2 people who match your description. I was to give it to you after you sit and play a game.
She doesn't have feet.
Okay,
No, she
why
does.
not?
My Hanafuda flower cards, do you like them? They have a long history. In Japan, we value nature and its beauty is portrayed in our games. Go on, try and match all the pairs.
So this is just straight up concentration, so hopefully I can do this kind of quick.
Okay.
But what's funny is that I first got this game as just a demo with just the first mission on it, and in Japan, I always got stuck because we'll see. This is right before I just could not progress because I didn't know what to do.
Huh.
And we'll get to the why in a little bit, but it's kind of funny because here was it
Up there. Yep.
Yep. Oh, that was fortunate.
And the easy one.
Subarashi.
Spicy.
Wonderful. Thank you for playing. And now, here is what that mysterious lady left for you.
It's an iPad.
Well, hello again, Jules. So I understand you and your new rookie agent have been assigned to the case. This should be fun. I love a challenge. So I was a little disappointed at how easy it was to distract you. I was watching you play your little game, but you were too busy to notice. Maybe you've lost your edge, Jules. Bye for now, agents. Catch me if you can.
I don't believe it. Do you think she's really watching us, Jules?
Yep.
You know, I thought I saw someone by that origami display on that tree over there. We should check it out.
That's one problem plot hole with this game. The police are never involved. You'd think that the actor would work with the police. Like, she's obviously working with Carmen. Like, she should be arrested for, membership in a criminal organization. But so you're supposed to go here now.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, it's kind of prominently, but
yeah.
And then you click on the odd one out.
You were right, Jules. Carmen Sandiego was here. It looks like she left this for a vial agent. Katanas, huh? I wonder if the database has any info on these. I'll keep the note in my digital clue storage device. We need to search this area. Can you help, Chief?
An RX-23 is the vial code name for a message playback device. Vial agents use them for leaving audio messages for each other. They look like a small, round speaker, and they're sometimes hard to spot. Look around carefully. This is important. We must keep on Carmen Sandiego's trail. Chief out.
Sorry for not talking as much. This is a bit dialogue heavy, especially in the first mission. So
yeah, that's fine though. I mean, they're still introducing mechanics.
Yeah.
And
this is where I got stuck because for the life of me, I could not find that dang RX-23. For months.
So
I know where. Like, the trick is you have to look in these shops. Like, some of these are.
I love Japanese food, and miso soup is so good for you.
Wait, aren't hamburgers good for you? Don't tell me you don't like hamburgers, Jules.
Oh boy. There's...
Kabuki is a traditional form of Japanese drama. It's really exciting to watch. Have you ever seen it?
Can't say that I have. I guess that I'm not quite as experienced as you, Jules. Although I'll admit, that guy there looks pretty interesting.
Yep.
So it's funny that we just... Oh, so, and then the trick is you have to go to this place. And there it is. You can see the katanas.
Okay.
Samurai were brave and disciplined warriors, very skillful with these long, curved swords.
That sign says the swords are called katanas. Didn't that note we found on the origami tree mention them?
It's amazing how I went to the screen. I did not see this for the longest time.
Really?
Attention, Vial Agent X86. The second half of the solution is near the fort in Mombasa. Look for a way to travel to the capital. Remain in contact. Vial security code 225. Red Lady 1 out.
Mombasa. I'll make a note of that in my journal, Hawkins. Your database can help us figure out which country to travel to.
Okay,
right.
So
I'll keep this audio device in my digital clue storage device. No sense letting that Vial agent get a hold of it.
A little bit of click everything until something works.
Yeah. Like, you had to know...
To click on the shops.
And, like, it's not like you had to identify the katana, because they say right there it's a katana.
Right, but it's more about just finding where it is.
Yeah.
And it's not really obvious. I mean, if you go over, that's not a terribly obvious place to click.
Yeah, and also we can get... So, but this is how, like, this is actually the one time we are in Japan. I think it comes out as a wrong answer later on, but... So we can click around a little bit.
So you can...
This is a Shinto shrine. Many Japanese participate in Shinto rituals, like festivals or leaving prayers at a shrine. Buddhism and Confucianism are among the other religions practiced in Japan.
So also, I really like the art. It's very beautiful backgrounds.
Yeah, that's one thing that actually surprised me. How old is this? How old is this game
This is
about?
a game from 2001.
Okay, so yeah, these backgrounds are actually really nice, and even and a lot of the 3D modeling that they put in, even though it's pretty basic, it looks very nice.
Yeah, and I feel like part of the reason I think the art is so important is that you need to kind of evoke. Ooh, look at these
If we're not
fascinating
sure what to
places
do, we should check the
get kids to care.
Well, right. I mean, that's part of the aesthetic. And they're also trying to model these places as best they can.
Yeah. So they said, so also having multiple choice is very nice. That's a classic Carmen thing. So Mombasa, that's a city in Kenya.
Right.
Check this out. It says here that Kenya has a population of 27 million people, 2 million of which reside in the capital, Nairobi. What are you reading?
So are these the
Aesop
only countries
Denizens
that are
out of
available
Africa.
throughout the entire
A
game?
great
No.
adventure.
They
And no
switched.
long list
Okay,
of facts.
interesting.
By the way, Isa, that's not true. Out of Africa is a terrible book.
Mombasa. Palm trees,
take
ocean
it.
breezes, and excellent
Is it
Kenyan
that bad?
coffee.
It's boring.
But we can't
Like,
get too relaxed.
It's kind of
Carmen
racist,
might be.
and it's boring.
Anywhere.
It was
You're
written by
right.
some,
Let's get going.
English
The
colonists
database says that
of
most
Kenya,
Kenyans speak both
and
Swahili
it's
and
very
English.
uncomfortable to
Well,
read
that'll be
in the
helpful.
21st century.
Let's check around
It's
the
also
town.
boring.
And I'd also like to figure out what that castle place is. Over there behind the town.
Okay, so here we actually get some more hinting. We're supposed to find out the castle. So if we click on it, instead of you'd expect some historical.
This
Whatever.
time it's actually, we moved to the castle. The fort.
It's more interesting than that. You click on it and
Look! Look over there! That
What?
helicopter! Carmen owns a helicopter like that one, I'm sure of it.
Agents Jules Argent and Shadow Hawkins. Come in, Chief. We think we spotted Carmen Sandiego's helicopter over Mombasa. She may have been here. Any chance of getting some backup to trace that helicopter?
There are no available Acme agents in the area. It's up to you and
they
Jules.
get the police.
This is exactly the kind of situation
just
I had in mind
unfortunate.
when I put the two
Also,
of
how
you
big is
together.
Acme?
Carmen Sandiego is no easy catch, Hawkins.
Good question.
Be careful.
We'll
If
be
they don't
careful,
have any
Chief.
free
But we need to
agents,
find out
what
more
are they
about that fort over
doing?
there. The helicopter lifted off from right behind it. That book we scanned in Rio. It was all about Portuguese forts. Maybe that Vile agent was researching this one.
All right, so we're told that we need to look for a way. Also, again, very nice. We go from a Shinto shrine to very nice Swahili-inspired buildings.
Yeah, they do manage to kind of keep the aesthetics of each culture.
Sorry about that.
They do manage to keep the aesthetics of each country really, really. What's the word I'm looking for?
Accurate,
Distinct.
reasonably accurate.
Accurate and
Okay.
distinct.
Yes.
Initiate
Also,
search
here's a
procedure.
weird little thing.
Habari.
You just click.
Pawpaws,
You just click on these fruits. Nothing happens.
mangoes, passion
I
fruit.
was convinced for years, and I still kind of am, that there's some kind of code, secret Easter egg you can enter in these, but I have no idea what it is. So if you know anything, I don't.
Nope.
Tell me. Anyway, so the Vile clue said go look for a way to travel to the capital. So let's go on the train. And that little music tells you
You
we're
can
on the
take
right
the
path.
train from here in Mombasa to Nairobi, the capital of Kenya. Carmen and I took the trip once on a trail of a mysterious man who was poaching endangered species. I'll tell you about it sometime, Hawkins.
Sometime.
There's a lot of. They do build up Carmen as like the most amazing person ever in this. Like,
This must be the clue intended for that Vile agent. Too bad, Carmen Sandiego. We got here first.
But what does she mean by the 3 rings? This case is getting complicated. We should remember to check my journal often so we can keep track of things.
Now, here's my question. Can you already... Do you have to wait for a flag to... Do you have to wait for a flag to be hit before you can start... before you can combine clues?
what do you mean a flat?
So, in most adventure games, what we call... or really visual novels, anything like that. Any games, really. What a flag is a simple binary...
On the
it's
side
just
of
a
the
binary
bus,
thing that says,
Kilimanjaro.
You have done
Now
progressed to
that's
this
a
part,
mountain.
or you have
You
done
can
this,
see it from
so we
Kenya,
raise that
but it's
flag, and that
actually in
means you can do
Tanzania.
something.
Right. Well, I'm not sure. I know in some cases, I'm not sure if that clue. No, that clue actually is always there. The I know I did a little testing beforehand. In Cuba, the guy won't be there unless you talk to the bookstore guy. But
Okay.
this clue will still be there.
If you're done
you could
thinking,
theoretically.
I suppose we should get back to work.
Thank you, Hawkins. But you can actually complete this first mission entirely without ever going to Japan.
Really?
Yeah, it's very odd. I'll show you in a second. Why exactly? So, Fort Jesus, that's the fort.
We have a special today. Tours of the wonderful Portuguese Fort Jesus. But I must eat fast and cannot leave my store unattended. Would you be so kind as to get me some ugali? Oh, by the way, someone left this on the bus. I have no use for it. Do you want it?
Well, there's some interesting stuff here. I wonder why the page was ripped out. Well, I don't think we need it, but I'll go ahead and make a note of it in my journal.
Why bother? We're chasing Carmen Sandiego, not some legend of a lost treasure. Let's go find some ugali. Maybe the database can help us figure out what ugali is.
Oh wait, there's Marco Polo. Polo sailed to distant lands, and yeah, but this is an interesting little book.
So is that foreshadowing for later in the game?
Yes.
Aha.
And I just realized that a couple months ago.
Huh.
So we have, and keep in mind, when I was only playing the first mission, that book has no relevance.
Right.
All right, so we'll go to the authentic Kenyan cuisine in Kenya, where all cuisine.
Be authentic.
Anyway, that stuff looks tasty.
Look, they have ugali here. What is it anyway?
It's a thick porridge made from corn flour. Lots of Kenyans eat it. Let's get some for the tour guide.
Do we actually need that?
Yep.
What?
We give him food. He was asking. He said he was hungry, so we just.
I am still very hungry for...
Sorry about that.
Okay, many thanks for the food. Now, off we go to Fort Jesus.
So now we're at Fort Jesus.
These cannons remind us of Fort Jesus'
So
violent history. It changed hands 9
I get the feeling
times.
this specific background was done later in development somehow.
Yeah.
The fort is also a museum which features the wreck of a ship that sank in Mombasa Harbor in 1697.
Yeah. Funny fact about the Portuguese and their encounters and subjugation of the Swahili. When it ended, the Swahili ended up adopting 3 words from Portuguese. They were playing deck, playing cards, jail, and brothel.
Huh.
I think that says a lot. Okay, so now we can
Enough
find
standing around.
here, and hey.
This design on the door is known as the puzzle of the 3 rings.
The 3 rings. Carmen mentioned that on the clue we found at the station. We could be getting really close to finding out what she did with that Marco Polo book. Looks like we need to move the tiles around to complete the picture.
Oh, God.
The clues we found can help us figure out which tile goes where.
Alright.
So, okay, so this is actually, we needed this thing from the station in Kenya. We needed this from the book in Brazil. We didn't need to go to Japan, technically. It was a hint, but if you happen to go there by lucky guess...
You could just skip it entirely.
Yeah, which is very interesting, because that should not happen. The clues should not appear until...
Well, you can... I mean, yeah. On the one hand, it makes sense, because there was... On the one hand, you could say that, yeah, you don't have to go to Japan, and that's okay. That's interesting.
Okay, so I feel like this is in the right place. I don't think it would stay there, though.
No.
What now? Yep. We're in a bit of a high traffic area. We apologize for that stuff.
Sorry for the interruptions, everyone. Alright, so...
Oh, that's suspiciously close, actually. Okay. So... Do I lift this one up?
Yeah, I think that's almost everything.
Yeah, so now these are in the wrong place, so... No, wait, that's gonna make it worse, right?
Gosh darn sliding puzzles.
Can I do...
Actually, are you allowed to come to this before getting those 2 pieces of paper?
Yes, but you won't be able to solve it. Like, it won't let you click on it.
Oh, okay.
So it just jumbled. Like, you can probably figure out it's a slide puzzle, but...
You won't be able to actually get it without...
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
so
you physically could, but in this case you can't. Okay, so...
Alright, so move...
I don't think that's
help.
Okay, I'm open to suggestions, Chris.
Alright, move that one over. Let's
Which one?
move
This
the green
one?
the other green one. Jeez. Yeah, let's keep... Swap those. No. What pain.
If I can just... Oh, no, this is not gonna...
I hate sliding puzzles. I really hate sliding puzzles.
Yep, and I think this is right back where we started. So if we can get this there,
okay,
that would be nice.
Here, can I?
Oh, sorry. Wait, no. Okay.
Alright, let me have a shot at this. Let me see.
So this is nothing. This is just straight up a kind of a little mini game, essentially. This has nothing to do with education, per se.
But it's there to...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's there to be a puzzle.
Yep.
Of course, it's a slide puzzle, so it's terribly annoying.
So I thought we were going to get like a ticket to go to Nairobi, like inland, like it said in RX-23, but poof.
That was easy.
Yep.
We did it! Carmen Sandiego's master plan has been thwarted. Are we good or what?
Good enough to find a rare book, maybe. But we didn't get Carmen yet.
Yep, we found it.
I know her. She's watching our every move. Let's call the chief.
Congratulations, agents, on recovering the book. Excellent work, and...
So sorry to interrupt your congratulations, Chief, but I couldn't resist. Well, Jules, as a matter of fact, I am watching your every move. Not that there's that much to see, really. Enjoy patting yourself on the back for now. You may have got the book, but you haven't got me. And, Hawkins, is it? You don't know the first thing about my master plan. See ya around.
Carmen Sandiego. That woman has given me more headaches than... Now, where was I? Oh, yes. You did a great job, but we've just received word of another theft, and it's got that Carmen Sandiego written all over it. Wellington, New Zealand. A rare wood carving has been stolen from a museum. A ticket to the Bolshoi Ballet was found at the scene of the crime. So pack your bags. You're off to Russia to follow that lead.
Like a little
I'll get that book back to its rightful
Yeah,
owner.
a little bit.
Roger that, Chief.
That's okay.
I just finished sketching it in my journal. There's quite an interesting design on the cover.
No time for art lessons, Jules. We've got work to do.